All right, so we're always looking for these like life hacks or shortcuts to success, right?
Right.
And so you shared this YouTube video, and it claims that you can beat 99% of people with just 5 minutes of effort a day.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty bold claim, right?
Yeah, definitely attention grabbing.
So let's dive in and see what we can actually take away from this.
Okay.
Right off the bat, the video highlights the speaker's like impressive credentials, and then promises this bulletproof plan.
It does, yeah. And that kind of speaks to our desire for those quick fixes, easy solutions.
For sure. For sure. It's like, who wouldn't want that, right? A
Yeah.
shortcut to success, especially if it only takes 5 minutes.
Exactly.
But then the video kind of takes this turn,
Yeah.
and it paints this picture of like the average person as being lazy and addicted to screens.
It's a common tactic, right? You
Well,
create that sense of urgency, a little bit of fear, like, hey, if you're not doing this, you're falling behind.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, not everyone who enjoys Netflix or spends time on social media is automatically like losing at life, right?
Yeah. Right. It's much more nuanced than that.
Definitely. And speaking of like strong statements, the video uses this really intense analogy,
Oh, yeah.
comparing modern technology to digital fentanyl.
Wow, that's a powerful image.
It is.
And, there's a lot of research now on how that constant stimulation and instant gratification from technology really impacts our brains.
Yeah, like rewiring us somehow.
In a way, yeah. Especially the dopamine reward system. We're getting so used to those quick bursts of pleasure that it can be harder and harder to focus on tasks that require, more sustained effort.
So it's not just about like wasting time on social media. It's about how all this digital input could be changing how our brains work.
Yeah, and potentially making it harder to achieve those,
Yeah.
big wins in life.
So then the video presents its solution, this 3-level system for beating the 99%.
Okay.
Level 1 is all about these small wins. So
Yeah.
tell me more about those.
Well, this is where that 5-minute concept comes in.
Yeah.
The video encourages you to find those simple, everyday choices that don't take much effort, but they can add up over time.
Like compound interest, but for your habits.
Exactly.
So instead of overhauling your whole life, it's about making small, sustainable changes.
Right, like taking the stairs instead of the elevator.
Or swapping out that sugary soda for a glass of water.
Exactly.
Okay?
Those small wins help you break out of what the video calls the collective comfort zone.
I like that.
It creates momentum and a sense of accomplishment, which keeps you motivated. And psychologically, there's a lot of research to back this up.
So you're not just doing something different. You're actually changing your brain, making it easier to make those healthier choices.
That's a great way to put it. But the video doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, once you've got level 1 down, it's time to step it up with level 2.
Okay, so we've built some momentum with our small wins, and now it's time to get out of our comfort zone.
Exactly.
What does that actually look like?
Level 2 is pretty simple, actually. Do one uncomfortable thing each day. And uncomfortable means something that pushes you past your normal routines.
Like facing a fear or something.
Yeah, you could say that. It's about finding that sweet spot, that level of anxiety where you're pushing yourself but not getting overwhelmed.
That makes sense. And there's a whole field of psychology dedicated to, how we respond to those challenges.
There is this concept called optimal anxiety, suggests that we need some stress, some discomfort to learn and grow.
So it's about reframing our relationship with discomfort.
Yes. Instead of avoiding it, we should see it as a signal that we're stretching ourselves.
The video gives some examples, right? Like talking to a stranger or finally tackling that task you've been putting off.
Exactly. And even just trying a new food. These might seem small, but they build confidence over time.
So level 2 is all about stepping out of our comfort zones in manageable ways.
Right?
But then there's level 3.
Yes.
And that's where things get really interesting.
That's where the video gets a bit controversial.
Embracing pain. Huh. I'm a little nervous to hear where this is going.
Yeah. The video argues that intentionally seeking out pain can actually be a catalyst for growth. And they use a pretty extreme example, the speaker's own experience as an ER doctor.
Right. They talk about how working in such a high-stress environment, often traumatic, forces them to confront their limits and develop this incredible resilience. But, I mean, that's a pretty specific example. Not everyone's cut out to be an ER doctor.
Definitely not. And I think it's important to be clear about what we mean by embracing pain. We're not talking about like seeking out suffering or putting yourself in dangerous situations.
Okay, so it's not about masochism. It's about something else.
Exactly. It's about changing how we think about pain. Pain is a part of life, physical, emotional, mental teeth. But how we respond to it makes all the difference.
So instead of always avoiding pain, We should see it as an opportunity for growth.
In a way, yes,
Mhm.
but it's not just about enduring pain. It's about engaging with it, understanding where it's coming from, and using it to fuel your growth.
I like that analogy.
Think about athletes. They push their bodies to the point of pain because they know that's how they get stronger.
Right. Or entrepreneurs. All those setbacks and failures, they learn from those experiences and come back even stronger.
Exactly. So it's about choosing the pain you face rather than letting life choose it for you.
I like that. That's a good way to put it. But the video doesn't really talk about the difference between healthy and unhealthy pain, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
And it's an important distinction.
So how can we tell the difference?
Well, healthy pain is the kind of pain that comes from pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone in a positive way, like working hard towards a goal, facing your fears, learning from your mistakes.
Okay, that makes sense. It's uncomfortable, but ultimately it leads to something good.
Exactly. Now, unhealthy pain, that's the kind of pain that's destructive. It holds you back, like staying in a toxic relationship, neglecting your physical or mental health, getting stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage.
So it sounds like we need to be aware of the pain we're experiencing and ask ourselves, is this helping me or hurting me?
Exactly. And remember, everyone experiences pain differently. What's a minor annoyance for one person could be unbearable for someone else. So listen to your body and mind. Know your limits.
That's really important. The video also talks about Kifi, this AI-powered learning tool.
Yeah.
And it feels kind of out of place next to all this talk about discomfort and pain.
Yeah, it's an interesting contrast, right? The video is all about pushing yourself, embracing challenges, and then suddenly they're promoting a tool that's supposed to make things easier.
It's like, embrace the pain, unless you can use this app to avoid it.
I see what you mean. But I think there's a way to see how both ideas can work together. Technology, when used well, can definitely be a tool for self-improvement.
So it's not about using tech to escape discomfort, but to use it to support our growth.
Exactly. Kifi, for example, might help someone learn more efficiently, freeing up time and energy for other challenges. But it's just one tool.
Right, and no tool is a magic bullet.
Right.
Real growth comes from putting in the effort, reflecting on your experiences, and being willing to step outside your comfort zone.
Absolutely. And it's important to be critical of anything that promises quick fixes or easy results.
Okay, so we've talked about these three levels. Small wins, discomfort as a tool, and intentionally embracing certain types of pain. And we've touched on how technology fits into all of this. As we wrap up our deep dive into this video, what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think the video makes some interesting points, but that 5 minutes to beat 99% can claim is probably a bit of an oversimplification.
Yeah, for sure. But I do think there are some valuable takeaways here. Like the idea that consistent effort, even small efforts, can really add up over time.
Absolutely. Like small changes building into something bigger.
Right. And then there's that challenge to go beyond those small steps, to actually seek out discomfort and even certain types of pain.
Yeah, that idea of embracing discomfort as a necessary part of growth can be really powerful.
So it's about seeing pain not as something to avoid, but as something that can help us grow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But like we talked about, it's so important to be able to tell the difference between healthy pain and unhealthy pain.
right? Healthy pain being the kind that comes from pushing yourself towards a goal, facing a fear, learning from mistakes, that kind of thing.
Right. Uncomfortable, but ultimately leading to something positive.
And then unhealthy pain is the kind that's destructive. It holds you back.
Exactly. So the key takeaway is to pay attention to the pain you're experiencing and ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me?
And if it's hurting you, then it might be time to step back and find a better way forward.
Absolutely. And, everyone experiences pain differently. What might be a minor inconvenience for one person could be really tough for someone else.
That's so true. It's all about knowing yourself and your limits.
Exactly. So while that 5 minutes to beat 99% idea might be a bit of a marketing tactic, the video does give us some good things to think about. Small, consistent actions can lead to big changes, and being willing to embrace discomfort and even certain types of pain can be part of that journey.
It's a call to be more intentional with our choices every day. What small wins can we add to our routine? What discomforts are we willing to face? What challenges will help us grow?
Those are great questions to consider. And that's where we'll leave it for today. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
See you next time.